But we know that ideas are not actually solid. You can't grab an idea until it does get structured. So it's pointing back to something that precedes it. So now we know that the salt is the body, and the body is actually just the structured thought forms. So it's pointing back to a principle before it, and that would be the spirit. So what is the spirit? If you go and look that one up in a dictionary, you'll see that it's very easily defined as the mind. Spirit is just the mind. Okay, but that's still kind of slippery, right? How do we understand what the mind is? So I just kept digging through the dictionary, and I looked up the mind. And the mind is defined as an inherent faculty of consciousness. So faculty means power. It's the inherent power that consciousness possesses. So once again, we're seeing the word spirit or the word mind pointing back to something that precedes it. So we now know that salt is the body, and body is just a structured thought. Those thoughts obviously are generated from the mind, the spirit, and the mind is the inherent power that consciousness has. So now we're coming back to the third principle, the sulfur or the soul. So if you look up soul, soul is defined as the actuating cause. The actual cause. Cause of what? Of everything, you know? And what is that cause? Well, we understand it by looking at the word spirit. It's the mind. It's the thoughts, you know? The consciousness just exists, and it inherently has the power to think. Thinking will naturally structure itself and therefore give the illusion of form. So now we understand how any and all experiences are generated. They are generated first by being, which is being awake, being conscious, being aware, right? Then inherently using the only power consciousness has, thinking, and then structuring those thoughts to make reality. If you go back to the definition of what alchemy is, the understanding of how consciousness relates to matter, you can start to see it in this exploration of the three principles. Consciousness, soul, or sulfur, relates to matter, the body, the salt. How does it relate? Through the mind, the mercury, or the spirit. So it becomes really interesting as you understand alchemy more and its philosophies.